So, hi. Where, I don't know how I'm gonna do this because this is the first time I've done one of these. But I guess we should start by heading to a new location. Some of you have already seen this set, some of you, haven't. So, I'm just gonna make it seem like I'm moving. We schmoving. We schmoving. Schmoving. Yeah, all right, I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, this is a... Here, let me actually lower this. There we go. Hey, welcome! Welcome. I actually have to still adjust some things since this is the first time I'm using it. Oh. Is this where you are? It is, it is. Do-do-do-do. There we go, there we go. There we go. That should fix all the things. So, welcome to the booth. This is the booth. Hope you guys enjoy it. Normally what I would have where the alerts are, I would have a visual reel playing, but I kind of forgot to add it. So what I may just do is cheese a little display capture thing there. And just play visual reels of stuff I've done. My God, that booth, yeah, I really like it. I love the way it came out. It came out so good, so good, so good. It was done by 7M Digital, same person that did the booth outside, which, or not the booth outside, but the set outside, which you can see through the little window. See, you can see it. You can see it. Yeah, 7M is so good at, they're great. I love what they did. MTV Tour Crib went, what are you talking about? I've shown you it all to you. This is it. I'm just moving my mic a little bit. Some messages in chat are being cut off. Yeah, pretty much that's all I could do. What I could do is this. In some way, shape, or form, something is getting cut off. You know what I mean? I mean, I could try to shrink it. Ah! I'm ruining everything. Look what you made me do, chat. Nope, not what I wanted. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, yeah, that's as best as we're gonna get, I think. Hot tub stream with mineral oil. Ooh, that'll be so spicy. He's just blankly staring at it. No, that isn't blankly staring. This is blankly staring. Are you uncomfortable yet? Yep. Anywho. Yandere stare? I guess so. Not the fish eyes! Wait. It doesn't. It's not as efficient. Am I waterproof? Yes, I am waterproof. But I'm not a fan of water, but I am waterproof. Hada, your stare is adorable. Thanks. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. So yeah, I was thinking we could talk about like voiceover and stuff for like maybe an hour or two, and then switch over to Psychonauts 2 and see if we can complete it. Hello, Fuchsia Hex. Or Fuchsia Hex. I'm gonna say it was the first one. But yeah, let me put on my glasses. Education mode. Yeah. So if you guys have any questions or inquiries about voice acting or that kind of thing, I'm more than willing to answer during these hours. will this be for questions for voice acting only, or will you allow questions like, for example, VTuber? Oh yeah, no, they can be VTuber based as well. They can be a little of both. Yeah, they can be VTubing. They can be voice acting. I'm more experienced with voiceover than I am VTubing, because VTubing I've actually only done it for, it'll be a month tomorrow, and tomorrow I won't be streaming. I will say, since officially VTubing, I have streamed for over 90 hours this month alone. If I check that right, let me check real quick. But I have never streamed that long in a month. I think the only time I've ever come close is when I once did a 24-hour stream. But other than that, I don't think I've ever gotten this high. Yeah, 93 hours. 93! That's insane. You peeped the Streamlabs thing? What thing? Oh, hey, Caleb. A hecton? I thought you were about to say a hectone to make like a music joke. But hey, Caleb, how's it going? I'm chilling. You're more of a VTuber than I'll ever be? Well, that's up to you if you want to do it. Oh, Discord DM. Okay. Thank you for the follow. Oh, what? What the fuck is this? Huh. I'll have to look into that, but apparently Streamlabs is doing essentially their own version of subscriptions. Is that what I'm reading right? But they're called tippers. Huh. That's really cool. What are some things you do to practice on your own? Voiceover wise? Hey Strider, by the way. Some things I do to practice on my own. And I know this is, hey, thank you for the 10 bits. I know that this is gonna sound a little weird. I watch stuff. And I know that sounds strange, but I watch a lot of current stuff. I go and watch things that are being listened to. Not listened to, but more current things, whether it be video games, anime, cartoons, to get a feel for the style. The only other type of practice I have are auditions, which isn't really practice, it's, you know, auditions. Other than that, like, I mean, I kind of do this. And I know that sounds weird to say, but like streaming for me has been a good way to practice, because if I do the voices for certain things, I'm practicing my voices. And I also practicing how long I can, you know, maintain my voice. Whether it be 1 to 9 hours, and that kind of thing. Just know your limits and that kind of thing. You want to be a voice actor? Great! What do you want to know? You ever do vocal warm-ups before a recording? Yeah, I usually sing. Singing is a good way to warm up, but don't like full-on belt, especially if you're warming up, because you might actually fuck yourself. I would say lip trills, like that. What else? Tongue twisters. She sells seashells by the seashore. Unique New York. I always fuck this one up. The tip of the tongue, the roof of the mouth, the lips, and the teeth. But of course, say it faster. And yeah, so should I take VO classes first or acting classes first? I think whatever's at your disposal. If you're able to, if you're in a position where you're able to take acting classes, take acting classes. I started off with, when I got really into voiceover, I started off with improv. I started off with my drama class in high school, which was the elective, and it was essentially improv. And thank you for the biddies. And what else? And I also took theater and writing, or writing and theater, whatever, same thing. So those 2 classes helped a lot. How long does it take to develop VA in your opinion? Like, you mean voice acting? Develop voice acting in your opinion. Honestly, it can take however long it needs to take. Whether it honestly depends on how you view it. If you're asking specifically like your career, everybody has a different journey. So you can't base one person's experience off another's, you know what I mean? Some people have big blow-ups, and then that's kind of it. Some people consistently work. Some people rarely work, unfortunately. Or once in a blue moon, but when they get used, they get used. It makes me happy to hear you say that streaming is practice. I used to do readings on streams with various character voices, and I feel like my vocals got strong. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, because in a way, you're reading out loud. And reading out loud helps so much. Because if you're a nervous person, a very anxious person, and you're not accustomed to reading out loud or reading a script, it totally helps with those, stage frights or shyness. Can singing vocal warm-ups also help with VA, or are those 2 separate? Oh, no, I meant like singing for vocal warm-ups. Hey, what's up, Ace? I'm doing well. Hey, Guardius, thank you for the follow. I don't think cold water could damage your voice, but it definitely won't warm up your voice. Because I definitely drink cold water. I love drinking cold water, but it's not good if you're trying to warm up. If you're trying to warm up, go either room temperature or go hot. But if you go hot, you might as well make tea at that point, because there's no point. So I would recommend just room temperature water. Room temperature water helps with all the gunk in your, like all the mucus you got going on in your sinuses and like your vocal cords. That's why people recommend hot water or tea, because the hot water and the tea, all those that shit helps decongest you. And I mean, we're all kind of congested when we first wake up. Going to sing thrash metal to warm up. I mean, it's not a great warm up. Kind of voice acting adjacent. I'm a therapist and talk all day, which sometimes strains my voice. Any tips on building stamina or avoiding strain? Lots of water. Drinking lots of water. That helps out tremendously. Tea is always good. Not coffee. Coffee actually dries out your voice, so that might be one of the reasons why your voice dries up so much. Same with soda. Soda can actually make you a little mucusy, so same with milk. So that might actually be not helping your case at all. And I'm terrible at it. I literally have a Diet Coke on me right now. Well, not literally on me. I just realized I could do something. Hold up, chat. Hold up, chat. Boom. I got Beppis on me. Yeah, it's terrible. But I got it on me. Literally on me. In terms of professional voice acting, what kinds of projects can be done from home nowadays? Honestly, everything. Everything is done from home nowadays. Video games, anime, cartoons. There are certain places that we can now go to record, but 99% of the time, it's everything. Everything is recorded from home because of pandemic, and due to the Delta variant, it seems like it's going to be that way for a while. So now, MX Force, thank you for gifting it to Rage. I appreciate it. Now, in that same vein, just because everything is being done from home doesn't mean you should submit to places if you're not ready. If you're not ready and you submit too early, it won't be a good look. Folks will remember you, but not in a good way, if that makes sense. So make sure you're prepared and you feel like you're ready. And genuinely think if you're ready. Don't just be like, I'm ready. I got this. I've been doing this for a month. I'm a professional. I get being impatient. I am a very impatient bot. But in that vein, don't submit too early. I'm not saying don't reach out to people and submit. Do. I mean, how else will you get work? But know when you're ready. Have the experience. Don't just be like, oh yeah, I'm a guy off the street that wants to, I heard I got a good voice. I can do this. No, do the work. Do the work. Take classes. If you can't take classes, practice. Look up videos online, things that'll help you. Read a book. Read out loud. Find ways to make it work. And if you need practice from home because you want to do voiceover, but you don't feel confident in submitting for professional industry locations, there are places like Voice Acting, Casting Call Club. There's I know that they do some auditions on Behind the Voice Actors. There are other places as well. I wouldn't recommend pay-to-play sites just because, apart from being frowned upon, I mean, you'd have to pay, and that's not the way it should work. So even on Twitter, you can find out folks that need some voices or something, some way, shape, or form, you know? Oh, hey, Rye. Yeah, classes. Okay, Rye. I see you. Is a degree No. A degree is not expected. I'm actually a college dropout. I was studying something completely different. I was studying animation, and I dropped out because I wanted to pursue acting more. And most of my friends, they don't regret their theater backgrounds, their theater degrees, but they've barely used them. They've barely utilized them. However, I will say, if you get a theater degree, or if you go to theater, that will probably translate real well for mocap. If you have really good memory, which I don't, I am awful at remembering lines. Terrible. Absolutely awful. I can't remember lines for the life of me. But if you are able to act on stage, are very good at memorization, there's a new style of recording called mocap. And that's what a lot of the AAA games, like Horizon Zero Dawn, the Resident Evil games, The Last of Us, those are all essentially a theater. That's just a stage. And the biggest difference is they're wearing a suit and having to use their imagination for props. So yeah, if you are currently in theater, studying theater, trying to get a theater degree, but you want to pursue voice acting, there's that. Also, if you're a stuntman, mocap is the right place for you. There's literally voiceover for everybody. And if you're not interested in anime or video games or cartoons, there's also commercials. If you want to be the guy, or even radio. Like, there are so many different styles. And I'm not saying everybody has to be a voice actor or everybody can be a voice actor, but if you want to do it, if you're determined to do it, just know the road getting there can be a bit tough, because it's a lot of disappointment, a lot of depression, because you won't always get the things you want, right? Just like anything else with life, but it hits a little harder, I think. Just be prepared, mentally, financially, and have friends. And I know that sounds weird, but like, a lot of people just up and move wherever with no sort of friend group in sight, and they always end up depressed because they have no one to interact with. And it's different interacting with folks online than it is in person. And yes, I know we're in pandemic, so that really doesn't matter, but you get what I mean. I'm guessing that VA is kind of like being a freelancer. If that's the case, how would you protect your work? Well, yes and no. Being a voice actor is kind of a freelancer because we're all on contract. Protecting your work, well, we don't own our work. Technically, so if I voice a number of characters, but I don't own any of those characters, one day Nintendo could just be like, we don't like that guy, reuse someone else. Or, Funimation could be like, we don't like him. Use someone else. I'm not protected because it's not my property. I don't own it. Even for video games, even if you're a part of SAG, because we don't own those properties. We just help bring those characters to life. So, yeah, everything is a contract basis. We're not employees, so it is tough. SAG helps sometimes. It's weird. Hold on, I gotta drink some soda. Some good old Pepsi. All right, Beppis. Hold on, I got this. That was so good. That Beppis right in my mouth. Put you over there. Good stuff. What about abridging? What about it? Well, here's the thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with fan dubs, abridging, or parodies online. There's nothing wrong with voicing in them. But when you put them in your professional resume, that's the issue. I mean, I believe a lot of folks who are currently in the industry have done either abridging or fan dubs or parodies and now work with in some way, shape, or form in the industry. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just think if you put it in your professional resume, like when you're trying to, okay, let's use Team 4-Star as an example. Great actors, but if they're trying to get hired for, I don't think, Toei would take kindly to the fact that, oh, we just got a resume because they want a voice in the next Dragon Ball, which, whatever, as an example, none of this is true. But they're not a fan of the fact that they took, a property they own and just made fun of it, no matter how well received it's on the internet. Because that's just how clients can be. So, again, nothing wrong with making a fan-made parody or an abridged or a fan dub. But if you start making money off of it and you put it in your resume, that's where, there's a line. Hi, Cora. How's it going? But how did you know that you got to... So I found out I voiced Shallot. So I auditioned for Shallot. And apparently it only went to a handful of people. And one day I just get a Twitter DM from Chris Sabat telling me, hey, you're the voice. And I'm like, oh, cool. Can I know what it is? And he's like, nope. And then when the event happened where they announced Dragon Ball Legends, I was like, is this it? Is this it? 3 days later, I found out yes. But true story. That's how it happened. Same reason why loading an art portfolio with fan art. Exactly. No matter how good the art is, amazing art. But if you're gonna make art of... Fuck it, Gur, because you're right there. If you make art of Invader Zim and you go to Nickelodeon and be like, I want job, please, they'll be like, what the fuck is this? Know what I mean? I mean, some places can, but it's so specific that I wouldn't risk it, in my opinion. Hey, what's up, Juan? Hey, I'm glad you like the booth, Neon. I hope you guys find some of these topics interesting. I always worry, and I'm always like, man, I hope people like this. Yeah. I don't know. Just because, like, I'm very, even before I was in the industry, I was very passionate about voiceover. And even just knowing who voiced what and what that kind of thing. And my friends can attest, I used to be like, oh, did you know this person? And they're like, bro, shut up. Still is. Simba, come on, man. I should add that, Trash. I haven't added that rule because I didn't think I'd need to make that a rule. This is really cool to hear. Loving the booth, by the way. Will we see you here in all future streams? Not here. This will be specifically for like voiceover discussions, If I do manga readings or like if I ever decide to do karaoke streams, I still need to figure out about the manga readings, aka the webtoon readings. So, because I think that'd be really cool. Exactly, Simba, yeah. I'm into this because I'm kind of interested in... Hey, well, hell yeah. I always get very excited whenever I can clock the voice. Yeah, same. Same. I'm the only one of my friends who cares about voice acting. Hey, I mean, that happens. That's kind of me. So I feel that. Voice direction has always been an interest of mine. It's so cool. Yeah, I've had the opportunity to help voice direct a couple of things. 2 of them being the Royal Tutor and In Another World with my smartphone. And it's a very interesting beast. The other day I was helping with a thing and I was told that I made the actor feel comfortable in the sense of like with my humor. I helped them feel at ease and that they could just joke around and play, which is something I'm very glad to hear, because I'm like, oh man, I hope I'm not stepping out of line, calling them a fucking idiot here and there. But all in good fun, and that it's very interesting because you gotta handle every situation differently, because not every person will take kindly to the way you talk to them. You know, if that makes sense. Is it better to work in a home studio or studio in my area like ones in Toronto? I've heard that in Toronto they do a lot of video games. I always mix up Toronto and Vancouver, but I think Toronto might be... Fuck. One of them is better known for video games and one of them is better known for animation. So, but honestly, I think you're in a great spot in Canada because they do a lot of cartoons, and it seems to be a little bit of bleeding over in between LA and Canada, which is really cool. Can you go over NDAs and what happens when you break them? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about NDAs. NDAs are non-disclosure agreements. What does that mean? Basically, if you work on a project or you've been given something early, let's say, I don't know, Psychonauts 2, and you talk about the fact that you're a part of that project before a certain date that you're given the okay to talk about, you will get in trouble. What will happen? Well, multiple things could happen. In the voice acting world, you could either A, lose your job, B, maybe get a slap on the wrist depending on the project, C, possibly sued, and yeah, it honestly depends on the property. Depends on the project. I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're in a Nintendo project and you break an NDA, probably gonna get fired and maybe sued. Because if depending on the project, if the project hasn't even been announced, then knowing Nintendo, they'll probably come after you and they'll be like, "Hey, yo, what the fuck? Why did you talk about Metroid Prime 5 when we haven't even given a release date for 4? That's a joke. I have no idea. Also, does Metroid Prime even have voiceover? It's just an example. Point is, there's that. So, don't break your NDAs. So if you ever see me talk about NDAs or non-disclosure agreements, that's why. If you constantly so a lot of folks always ask, hey, what are there any upcoming projects you can talk about? And when folks say, no, not yet, it's probably because of NDAs. 99% of the time. That and the other 1% is they not working on anything and are just trying to save face, which is very unlikely. Never fuck with Nintendo? Yeah, pretty much. I would say so. And due to NDAs, even if you guess the VA, yep. And here's another thing. That's a very good point, Simba. And even with NDAs, even if the trailer for a project is out, even if you're like, oh, I recognize who that is. I know exactly who this character and this thing is. Oh my God, it's so-and-so. And they don't say shit. it's because of NDAs. So let's say you're playing Tales of Arise and you're like, oh, that's, well, the actor can't say anything until the game is out, or they're given the okay by the company. So if you ever wonder why, it's because of NDAs, and they can still get in trouble even when the trailer is out. So yeah. And sometimes there are some rare occasions where the where the game is out, but for some reason the client does not want the talent to say they voice certain characters. So it's a very rare instance, but it's happened. It's happened multiple times. It's just very rare and very specific. So yeah, it can happen. It can happen. I used to hear that for a time, Sarah, the voice of Ash, wasn't able to say they were the voice of Ash. Once they took over, it took a while, but I heard that they couldn't for a while. Didn't that happen with Genshin? Well, the thing with Genshin is different, because with Genshin, MiHoYo likes to announce who the voices are. So even if they drop a trailer, but there's no Twitter post or anything indicating the actor of who that voiced that certain character, that's why. No matter how many people guess who it is, or who it is, they still can't say. Yeah, exactly, Kaiba-man. NDA means VAs cannot say anything even to their relatives. Pretty much. That's why we didn't VA dubcast until for Eden Zero. Well, yeah, I mean, until Eden Zero dropped, yeah. Well, when Genshin was initially released, they didn't credit them until months later. Yeah, I think that was a discussion. I actually don't know too much details and don't want to speculate on it. But I don't know exactly what happened in that respect. How can we practice ADR at home? Good question. That's a good question. To practice ADR at home, you're gonna feel a little silly, and it's not 100% accurate. But you could watch something on Crunchyroll, Funimation, Hulu, whatever, doesn't matter, Netflix, and follow along with the subtitles. You could mute the audio and then fill in the flaps. I know that sounds fucking silly. I know. But hey, it's something to start. This is basically if you don't have any sort of editing equipment. If you do have editing equipment, say Adobe Premiere, DaVinci, Sony Vegas, etc., whatever, you can either capture footage from like Crunchyroll, etc., whatever, and just practice with that and try to match the flaps using whatever subtitles they have. So that would be up to you, Mind Turtle, because sometimes, depending on the company or the property, the scripts can either be completely differently adapted, or they could be so literal to the translation that it may sound a little funky. Thankfully, nowadays, it seems like it's been met in the middle, where some things are adapted, but it's still close to the original. So I would just say, whatever the subtitle is, it doesn't matter. You're just practicing to match the flap. That's the whole point of ADR. The technicality of it. Does doing powerful and deep voices damage your voice, especially when you're not really used to it? It can, if you're not careful. It can if you're not careful. Because if you're not careful, you can actually lose your high register. It all depends where your voice sits. Now, if you listen to my voice, I have somewhat of a high voice. I have like a medium voice, is what you would call it in the industry. A medium voice, where it's not too high, it's not too low. It's just in the middle. Like, it's fine. That's my voice, right? If anything, at most, a medium high, but not high. I would say a high-ranged voice would be, for males, I should specify, for males would be somewhere along the line of like Zach Aguilar or Ryan McKean. I don't know if he's still in chat, but you know, as an example, Griffin Burns, Coy Dow. But you know, those are examples that off the top of my head. Medium voices could be myself, Billy Kometz. There are a lot. Normally, when it comes to men, you'll probably hear a lot of medium voices. If I'm going to be honest. Anarchy, remind me about that question in a sec. And when it comes to the deeper voices, honestly, I think it's a lot rarer to hear a lot of deeper men. That's why you hear the same usual suspects, like Chris Sabat, Ian Sinclair, you know, KG Tang, Xander Mobus, Jameson Price, David Lodge. Exactly. Roger Craig Smith. But here's the thing. You can alter your voice however you can. I will say, if you have a higher voice and you try to practice that deeper voice, like that deep, boomy, resonant voice, like even deeper than that. Because when I do it, it sounds a little too forced when I try to go that low. Like, I have my moments where I'm like, where I can do this. And this is a little medium low, but it's not deep. When I say deep, what I classify as deep is like Chris Guerrero. Like Chris Guerrero, Paul St. Peter, like that kind of thing. That's deep. I can go medium deep. And maybe at most, like, in the level of Matthew Mercer's, like, Jotaro Kujo or his Yusuke. You know what I mean? Where it's like, well, Takamaki-san, where he sits right here. That's still a little medium low, I think. But if you don't do it properly and you have a higher register voice, you can actually maybe fuck it up. A perfect example of people who have done it right are Ben Diskin, because Ben Diskin as Almine, I say Almine, I prefer Almine, in Kuroko no Basket, or Kuroko's Basketball, he kills it. After all these years, Ben Diskin, oh man, I wish we could go back in time. I wish we could take Ben Diskin now and put him in Spectacular Spider-Man again with how deep and rich his voice can get. Because, man, could you imagine his Venom with his fucking sexy voice now? I mean, not that Ben's voice wasn't sexy before, but, like, now he's got that, like, kind of texture thing going on, and it's so good! Ah, dude! His Skeletor oh my god, it's so good. Because it's like, everything! Because he's got, like, a lower and a higher thing. Now, another person that I think does low well is, funny enough, going back to one of our high boys, Zach Aguilar. A lot of you may not know this. Well, Zach Aguilar voices Tanjiro. You do know that. If not, you know him for, Byleth, or for Ether in Genshin Impact. Well, he's also one of the spirits in Genshin Impact, that deer. I forgot what they were called. The Adepti. And he's the deer that has a very low voice. And I can't even get there in replicating that, because he's been practicing since he was, God, since 16, 15. Yeah, Mooncarver. That's the one. But it takes a lot of practice. Just be careful if you're wanting to get a lower voice, because there's the slight possibility you may lose your high voice. That's the only thing, depending on where your voice sits. So that's all. How do we access them? Well, Mind Turtle, that's a little tricky. It could be through recommendation, if you know someone, and if they think, you know what, I do think you're at a level where I'm confident enough in recommending you. It could be that. You could just reach out to an agency. There are multitudes of agencies, whether it be in Texas, LA, New York. If you want to get into anime and video games, I would recommend more LA. If you just want to get into anime, Texas. pretty much you can go anywhere now. You could be anywhere in the US and still work for studios in LA and in Texas. If you're in Canada, that's a different story. There are a number of studios in Canada, but if for some reason either one, like Canada and the US, they don't, you know, I'm pretty sure it's due to paperwork, like very specific, like legality paperwork. But for those of you who want, this is a little weird. So for anybody who knows, who's been keeping up with the climate of voiceover, I'm going to let you in on a little secret, which isn't really a secret, but it's a little bit of a secret. Depending if you're POC or not, and by POC, I don't just mean African American, I mean African American, Hispanic, Japanese, Chinese, Asian, Middle Eastern, you know, any sort of person of color. It kinda is a cheat sheet. And I know that it sounds a little messed up, but right now the way the market is in the voiceover entertainment industry, not just voiceover, by the way, in the entertainment industry, it really doesn't, it like, that is like your gateway. Because right now every agent, every studio, they are trying to fill in the void for anything they're missing. Whether it's, you know, you're an Asian living in Hawaii, that's perfect. That's perfect. I have heard that multiple actors are moving to Hawaii because they're like, well, I want to live in Hawaii. I want to go back to my roots, but I don't want to live in LA anymore. Hold on, I just got a text from my brother. Sorry, my brother's watching Eden Zero. But yeah, I hope that answered your question. Basically to say, if you're a person of color, you may have an advantage at the moment. I don't know how long this will go on, but you will have an advantage at the moment. If you're wanting to get into voiceover, because people are trying to cast ethnically appropriate. You know, I'm Hispanic and Middle Eastern, but they're not gonna have me be, you know, the Chinese character or the black character, you know. But in that same vein, they're not gonna have a Chinese actor play a Middle Eastern character. Know what I mean? It's a weird climate we're in, because the way this started was POC actors just wanted fair treatment, in the sense of POC actors wanted to get opportunities for everything and not just, you know, those specific characters. Well, now it's gotten too specific, you know? And I hope in a perfect world, somewhere down the line, everybody gets the equal opportunity and not just, oh, you get this, you get this, you get this, you get this. You know what I mean? Diversity is important, but diversity shouldn't be used for marketing purposes. Does that make sense? I don't know. I feel like there are certain times where you should. 100% you should, right? Like, you're not gonna have, fuck it, I don't know, you're not gonna have Keanu Reeves be fucking Shang-Chi. That just doesn't work. But that's what I'm saying. I feel it all depends. I think it all depends on the context of the property and project, you know? And there's also something to say, like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're trying to add a little bit of culture, a little bit of that experience and background, like, no offense to anybody in the Genshin Impact cast, but I wish more Asian Americans were in it, especially since it's a Chinese-based company. You know what I mean? I wish more Asian Americans were in it. Like, Asian Canadians, or just more representation. Because, like, all of Liyue was supposed to be set in China. Like, that was the theme. And there's, like, what? And I know that one of the biggest complaints was that folks couldn't do proper pronunciation. You know? Yeah, Inazuma's supposed to be Japan. And it seems like they're rectifying it, which is good. Rectifying it with Inazuma and then so forth. And not to blame like casting or anything. At the end of the day, it's the client's decision, you know? And it's a learning curve. So I'm glad there is diversity. But it shouldn't solely be used for marketing, is all I was trying to say. Exactly, Bum. Yeah. Do you think that it is helpful to look at and analyze past auditions? Yes and no. That honestly can be a little bit toxic on yourself, because then you can go back, when you go back and listen to your auditions, you'll just be like, oh man, I could have done this better, I could have done that, and then you'll be depressed. Which is why when you go at an audition, and this is something I was taught by Richard Horvitz, who is I'll call him my mentor. He's been a really important part of my life. I honestly wouldn't be where I am here without him or without my agent. Honestly, without a lot of people in my life, I wouldn't be here. But I would say when you approach an audition, don't approach it as an audition. Because right from the get-go, you're already setting yourself up for failure because, oh, an audition, that's a job. Like, you know what I mean? Like, when you're going for an audition, you're like, I'm gonna get the job. That's why I'm reading. What he has taught me is, whenever you receive an audition, it's not an audition. It's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to play pretend. And he says that everybody has forgotten to play pretend. Not everybody, but a lot of actors have forgotten what it's like to play pretend. So I always approach my auditions like that. My opportunities, the stories. Because you got to find out what you want in the story. You can't just get in the booth. You can't just, all right, I'm here, time to record. Yabba dabba doo, thanks, Mr. Magoo. Like, I mean, you can do that, but there's a 99% chance you won't be happy with what you did. But what I'm trying to say is that don't forget to have fun, because we all are so hyper focused doing these auditions, reading for these opportunities, and we get blindsided by the fact if it's a big property, you know, whether it be whether it's Pokemon or Digimon or Dragon Ball or whatever, whether it's an anime, a cartoon, like, you know, who cares? But the moment we see those big names, we tend to hyper focus on that, and then we're like, oh, this can change my career. This is it. Oh, yes. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it because I know it's gonna happen, and I gotta do a good audition, rather than playing pretend and just playing, you know? So that's the way I've approached opportunities, the stories. Because every audition is a story that you're about to tell, and everybody can tell the story in different ways. So, yeah. I hope that helped. Sometimes I get off track when I'm really passionate about something. Anarchy, if you're still in chat, please post your question again, so that I can see it, because I have forgotten. What's the best method to maintain and be consistent with an unnatural voice? What do you mean? Like, could you clarify, Lord Shinku? Thanks for the advice. Yeah. Sorry I haven't said much, but I'm going to get off before I end up on. Hey, no worries, Junior Wolf. I was wondering how taking voice acting classes improves your skills. How do they coach you? Well, everyone is different, right? It all depends. So from my experience, every class is different. Depending on who you're taking classes with, usually voiceover classes are done as workshops. So it's a group of people. So you can watch and listen to what your colleagues are doing and learn from them. If you hear something you like, hear something that you don't like. I know that sounds a little bit like ego, but it just pay attention and listen to what sounds good to you. And, you know, but every class is different. Some you're there and some will tell you the same spiel. Some you'll learn the technicality of things. If you're taking an ADR workshop or class, it'll probably be more than anything learning the technicality of things, learning to rewrite things in the booth. They're primarily anime, which is why I recommend one-on-ones with folks. I will say there has been one workshop that I think helped a lot, and that was Mick Wingert's. He's the voice match for Jack Black. No, I didn't take the workshop because he's the voice match for Jack Black. I took it because he's the voice match of Robert Downey Jr. That's why I took the workshop. No, I'm kidding. No, I actually took it in seriousness because he's really good at cartoons, and I've always wanted to do more cartoons, and I felt that I hadn't done a lot, and I still want to do more. So I think if you're going to do a group setting, Mick Wingert would be a really good one. And he's very good about, it's like, hey, like teaching you about like helping you with more storytelling aspects when it comes to cartoon auditions. Of course, the one I will praise night and day and night, is Richard Horvitz. If you manage to snag a one-on-one class with Richard Horvitz, hell, even a workshop with Richard Horvitz, it is very, very fun and very enlightening is the only way I can explain it. Because when you take a class with Horvitz, it's not just the hour's up, get the hell out of here. No, you make a connection, you make a friend, and honestly, like the way his methods work, they just work. It's ridiculous to say, but every time after I take a workshop with him, just, you know, oh man, it just happens, you know. God. So Horvitz has a thing where instead of, you know, goals, because goals are something you put off, right? Everybody has that New Year's resolution goal. It's like, yes, this year I'm going to lose X amount of pounds, or oh yes, I have a goal to be in an anime, or I have a goal to do this, and you know, you put it off or just forget about it. Horvitz has a thing known as determinations, and basically a determination is you are determined to make this happen. Now how can I make it happen? And then you'll break it down and you'll go step by step to how to make that determination happen. Man, I'm just giving out his whole syllabus and I feel bad. I won't break. That's honestly, that's kind of why I recommend Horvitz so much, because I've learned so much from him. And I'm doing a butchered TLDR version, but honestly, if you're wanting to get into voiceover, whether it be anime, commercials, cartoons, video games, Richard Horvitz is great. I've also heard many good things about Charlie Adler's class, and I wanna take those classes, but I haven't taken them myself, so I can't really give the full recommendation. But yeah, Richard Horvitz, highly recommend. Let's see. Hold on, let me scroll up a bit. No, not you, idiot. No, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. A voice pretty different from your own, like Goofy, or voice from Mickey or Goofy? So what do you mean, like doing those voices? Yeah, anytime, Mickey. Wow, Cy is butchering it? Butchering what? What are you talking about? Hey, what's up, Love Scene? I'm gonna have another drink. Ah. Wow, I feel like a teacher or something. Oh man, I forgot to put my Pepsi in my mouth. My Beppis. My Beppis. Oh, yeah. I was. Jerem. Cy, you look like a cyborg teacher with that glasses. I mean, yes. That's the point. Do you encourage or stay away from being typecast? Typecast is not your enemy. There is nothing wrong with being typecast. I have been typecast in multiple different things, and I don't understand the issue with it. I really don't. I understand being frustrated doing the same thing over and over again. Hey, what's up, Poppy? Welcome back. And yeah, VA stuff, voice acting stuff. I understand being frustrated doing the same thing over and over again, but typecast is not your enemy. Typecast should, help, if anything. I mean, I've been typecast as the goof, as the himbo, as the stoic guy that has to say all the big words. But yeah, typecast is your friend. There's nothing wrong with it. Because if you get typecast, it means you're good. It means you're good at doing that thing. Why would you turn down the thing you're good at? Yes, you want to do more. You want to do other things. Nothing wrong with it. Hey, I like a fucking pizza. Who doesn't like pizza? Will you get tired of eating the same pizza every fucking day? Sure. But it's still good. You keep coming back to it because it's good. And then one day you decide to try, you know what? Pizza's good and all. But what if I got a calzone? Whoa, what the fuck did you just say to me? I mean, I like a calzone, but do you like a calzone? Like, huh? And sometimes you can be like, all right, calzone wasn't bad. What if I try a Hot Pocket? Whoa, all right, now you're downgrading. What are you doing? People get typecast for things because they're good at those things. Because they're believable. Because they know how to have fun with those things. If you weren't typecast in some way, shape, or form, honestly, maybe be a little worried because you may not have a thing that you're really good at. Sure, you may be versatile, but like that thing where you're not remembered for, does that make sense? I don't know. That's just my perspective. Yeah. At the end of the day, no, I don't have a problem with typecast. Typecast away. I've been typecast multiple different times, and I welcome it every single time. Because I enjoy it. Iconic voices are to die for. Yeah, I mean, look at Richard Horvitz. What is your advice for booking a gig for the first time? Don't worry about booking it. Because if you worry about booking it, you're not going to book it. You're going to make yourself anxious to the point where you won't book it. Honestly, show up on time. Now, when I say show up on time, that means show up early. If you show up actually on time, you're late. You're late. And mind you, this is all for in-person auditions. Because nowadays, most auditions are done from home. But if you ever have an in-person audition, show up early, at least 15 minutes at least, 30 minutes at most. Read over your sides if they weren't given to you beforehand. What else? I had a teacher once tell me the 4 rules. Love this guy, Joel McDonald. He's like, show up, show off, aka in the booth. Show off in the booth. Do what you can do. Do your best performance that you've ever done in your life. Number 3, shut up, and then get out. The 4 steps. It's true. He told us a story about how one guy did the first 2 steps right. As they were walking out, he was talking shit about some dub, or saying that it's like, yeah, the English dubs are fucking shit or some shit. And as he walked out the door, he's like, yeah, ban that guy. We're never using him. So yeah, remember the 4 steps. Show up, show off, shut up, and get out. As POC, how do we market ourselves online to get out there more in VO? Should we turn to... No. So, I know that... I love them. I love them all. Love all my colleagues. I know a lot of them turned to content creation during the pandemic. But let me tell you, before the pandemic, for some fucking reason, content creators were frowned upon if they wanted to get into acting. Which I'm like, why? Who cares? If they're a good actor, they're a good actor. Who cares? Now, everybody and their mother who does voiceover or just acting wants to make content. And I can't just even strictly say it to voice acting. I mean, shout out to Brie Larson. They were like, you know what? I'm going to make a YouTube channel. And I'm like, fair? Fair? Yeah, why not? You don't need to do that. You don't need to do that. You don't have to make content. Oh my God, Jeff Vicente cast you. Psh, buddy, you can voice this microphone. Go on. Go on. Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on, I got this. That's me hitting it. It looked like something else, but you know what I mean. Oh, man. I don't even know where I was, what I was saying. I swear to you. Hey, it's away from me. It's fine. What's under the desk? Nothing but dirt. And a shit ton of wires. Yeah, there's nothing down here. Ew, what the fuck is that? Ugh. It's fucking stanky ass. Hey, what's up, Xena? Did I answer the question? What was the question? I lost my fucking train of thought. It's a lot, Jeff. Thanks a lot, Jeff. Look what you did. My golly. Something about POC. Oh, right. You don't have to make content creation. No. Honestly, just put it out there that you're POC. If you're on Twitter and you're a voice actor and you're POC, then be like, hey, I'm so-and-so. I mean, I constantly say that I'm Ecuadorian and Lebanese. And even then, folks will be like, whoa, wait. You're Hispanic? Or whoa, wait. You're Middle Eastern? Here's the thing. The Middle Eastern one, I get. The Hispanic one, really? Really? You have to ask? But the Middle Eastern one, I get. But yeah, don't be afraid to say what your race is. Your race is. What mic is that? That's the B3000. It's a really good mic. I mean, oh, okay, well, I meant in voiceover, not in real life. In real life, please, if a police officer ever stops me, I'm about to pull out my middle name and my second last name, and it's the whitest thing you've ever heard, and I'm not gonna tell you what it is. Do you use VR? No. I tried, but I just couldn't. You're Irish? It's such a weird thing. But it's because POC right now, it's like, oh, I'm sorry, you're white? Yeah, we can't use you. Like, it's so weird. But then there are times where they need actors who are like, you know, like South African or like fucking German, Austrian. Like, they get super specific about certain things. You know, Swedish, German, Russian, fucking, you know, like English. Hey, what's up, 2.0? Any advice for stopping mouth noises? Mouth noises. Water, green apples, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and don't have soda or coffee. That will, yeah, don't do that. As I'm about to drink more of my Beppis, my fake Pepsi. Hold on. I'm gonna have a. Yeah. Don't do that. Don't do that. Green apples? Yes. Specifically, I don't know why it is. Jeff in chat would probably know better. But there's something to do with the way that the green apples, the sourness of the green apples or some shit, that just eliminates the smacking noises. Because here, I'll get close to them. Like, when you talk and you start like, you know, if you talk a little too fast, you can hear these small little smackies, and it's, yeah. Just honestly, if you don't have green apples, just stay hydrated. Drink a lot of water. Drinking water is literally the cheat code for voiceover. I'm not even kidding. Water saves you half the money, so much of your time. It's just drown yourself in it. Drown in it! Okay, but don't actually drown yourself in water. Don't do that. Don't actually do that. Okay? The cam moved on its own. You got brain power. Bitch, I'm a fucking psychonaut cadet. I'm a junior psychonaut. Yeah, I can move shit with my fucking mind. In all seriousness, yeah, I got brain powers. It's called telekinesis. I mean, I'm good at voice impressions, but I don't think I would have the confidence to become an actual voice actor, even though I took a lot of acting classes. Well, here's the thing. If you're good at impressions, so don't have impressions in your voice demo, right? Never have that. However, if you're really good at impressions, like, and I mean scary good, there's a career path called voice matching. Voice matching is when you sound so close to the actual actor or the original actor who voiced whatever it was, that you can imitate them. That is also a career path. Like, everybody's like, oh, I got a great, like, Kermit the Frog. I got a great Mickey Mouse. I got a great this. Cool. Can you voice them without saying one of their signature lines? Can you voice them while being sad? Can you voice them while being angry? And not have to be like, oh, wait, hold on. Oh, hi, guys, it's me. Like, you know, not that I'm good at a Mickey Mouse or anything. I'm not. But the point is, if you're really good at impressions and can do it like that, then yeah, I would say there is voice matching. For example, if I were to voice match anybody in my life, honestly, if I were to voice match anybody in my life, it would be Gilbert Gottfried. Because my voice, when I get really loud, I can sound like Iago from Aladdin. But to a very close degree, and if I really practiced it, I could 100% probably in the future do that. If Jafar, I'm molten here. What are we gonna do, Jafar? Like, if I honestly worked on it, which I haven't at all, it's just when I get really fucking loud and yell. What was it? Ya yo. Dreamin', don't give it up, Luffy. Dreamin', don't give it up, Zolo. Ya yo. So yeah, if I worked on it, I could potentially have a career in voice matching. Is that what I want? Probably not. But if you go on and look up actors, there are plenty of voice matching actors. Yeah. But when I was taking my first VO class in college, I had issues with glottal or vocal fry, according to my teacher. Do you know why that is? You might have been putting too much strain in your voice, or you may not have been yelling properly. So a lot of people, when they yell from their throat, and because, you know, that's how we were just, because we wouldn't think you could yell from any other place. A lot of people always tell you from the diaphragm. What does the diaphragm mean? It means from your tummy. It means from a place right above your stomach. Or right below. I can't remember. basically when you breathe, instead of lifting your shoulders and your elbows, you can breathe in your stomach. There are also other places you can breathe from, and I know it's gonna sound fucking weird, but you can breathe from your back and your bottom, your lower back, and that'll help with not yelling from your throat, which will actually help you a lot. And this is stuff that I've learned from my friend who's an opera singer, or was an opera singer, studied opera. So yeah, if you, I would say look up how to properly use your diaphragm, and then yeah, that'll help. I mean, I can sound exactly like Paimon from Genshin Impact. Well, that's good. And here's the thing: if you have an impression of something, I would say save that, because in the future it might help you down the road. I mean, because your impressions might not sound one-to-one to the actual thing. And that's kind of good, because then in the future, if you're auditioning for a thing, that could help you book a part, because they didn't want what you were impersonating. They wanted you and the fact, whatever you did with your impersonation. I mean, for example, I say I have a Dr. Nefarious impersonation from Ratchet & Clank. And I don't even know how I do this. Like, what the fuck is it? Like, Quack! What are we doing? Like, it's this weird fucking thing, and that's not even exactly what it is. But I booked this old man once doing that voice, and I was like, well, it's not... I know it doesn't sound like Nefarious, but it's a thing, but the way I picture it in my mind is Dr. Nefarious. Does that make sense? Do you have to move to where the scene is to be able to audition, get gigs? At the moment, no. At the moment, they're actually pretty friendly with remote. I've seen a lot of places, I've seen a lot of places record people from out of town, from all over the US. So I don't think at the moment, no. But once pandemic, whenever that may be, is fully over, or we get to a point where studios don't want to record remotely anymore, then maybe then yes. But at the moment, no. What are good sources to find auditions? Google. Honestly, there's also Twitter. I've seen a lot of auditions on Twitter. And Voice Acting Club, right? The internet is forever. Oh. And if you do impersonations for fun, that's fine too. That's a great Nux impression. Hi, I'm Nux the Ota. Hi, I'm Nux, and I'm coming at you with another fantastic video that my genius brain made. All right, so today for $1,000, a big old $1,000. Not even right. How should I go about making a voice demo if I have no previous credits? Easy. You don't. I'm serious. Don't make a voice demo if you're not ready. No, seriously. If you don't have any sort of like, not even credits, but any experience, don't do a voice demo. I would say work on your acting chops more than anything, and once you've worked your way there, make a voice demo. The first time around, if you don't have any credits, that's fine. Make up lines, make up things that, that you would probably hear in a show or hear in a fucking anime, a video game, that sort of thing. Do not fucking plagiarize. Don't steal lines from The Last of Us. Don't steal lines from My Hero. People will know that shit. They hear that, and I'm like, this shit sounds familiar. Don't fucking do that. But yeah, just make it up. Most because I have such a gender fluid voice. Well, that's great. My range can go low as a tenor and at least. That's awesome. Yeah, my favorite voices that I've heard. Their name is Lila Burzin, and they have a very, very realistic like boy voice, but then they can sound very boomy, like a very boomy woman. Lila Berzin's voice is Xiao in Genshin Impact. And when I first heard Xiao, no idea it was Lila. My God, they blew me the fuck away. I did not believe. I was like, I'm sorry, who? That's the most realistic boy voice I've ever heard in my fucking life. Then there's also Casey Mangelo. Casey, not KG Mangelo, Jesus. Casey Mangelo. Their voice is their voice is great. They voice Score Bunny in Pokemon Journeys, as well as many other things. Shinji Ikari in the Netflix version of Evangelion. They're really good. They're really good. Hey, Jane Cosplay, thank you for the host. And yes, glad you liked the booth. Alistair in Pokemon as well, yeah. They have a very gender fluid voice as well. I was gonna say gender neutral, but I think gender fluid is more accurate. As a really androgynous voice, yes. I love those voices because they always surprise me. Another one, oh my goodness. Kaylee McKee. Oh my gosh. If you have not heard of Kaylee McKee, their voice. They sound so sweet, and then immediately after sound so fucking, oh God, amazing. Blown away. There are so many incredible voice actors, and I'm so glad. I'm very lucky to call a lot of them my colleagues and friends. Man. Did you even watch Evangelion plus the movie? I mean, I voice in it. Kaylee's penis so good. Yes. What do you think of bad VA in old games? Does it feel nostalgic? Depends on the old game. Here's the thing. I think bad voiceover can be really funny if done right. If that makes sense. There are just some that are unforgivable. But, man. I feel like fans don't give enough credit to modern dubs. There are a lot of good modern dubs. But I will say, God damn it, Simba. I will say, out of all the dubs I've heard in recent years, I still stand by the best English dubs being Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Bakano being over Full Metal, Bakano being amazing, then Full Metal, and then I have a soft spot for Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple. Kenichi the Mightiest Disciple is a really good example of a good dub, if I remember right. They were all really good. Steins Gate also has a really good dub. What's your favorite bad VA line? I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Kenichi's dub is overrated. It is a fucking classic. I took choir my entire school life, as well as taking acting classes, and even had my first musical theater role my senior year. Yeah, it always is, Xena. It always is. Yeah, but that's really cool. Was there an anime you always dreamt of voicing in, acting? It's hard to say. So here's the thing. I feel like there's never just one. Not for me. There have been a number of times where I'm like, you know, I wish I could be in this. I wish I could be in this. One of them being Eden Zero. And as you can clearly see, I'm not in Eden Zero. But I'm very happy with the cast. I'm very, very, very happy with the cast. I think the cast is very cast. I think Ray Chase is a perfect choice for Weiss. I think Sean kills it as Shiki. And it's true, Simba. There was one scary point where me and my buddy Simba in chat, we talked about Horimiya. And literally like a week later, I book Miyamura. And I'm like, I need to talk with Simba about anime. Saint Seiya was definitely one of those. And the fact that I got to be in Saint Seiya was really cool. It was really dope. What was it like working with SDI, Spice Bread Productions? It was cool. Bob is really chill. And so is Megan. They're both really cool. Both really cool and really chill. Simba is lucky. No. Simba's not lucky. Simba is luck. He brings in the luck. Any tips to help with mucus during allergy season? Water. Lots of water. Tea. Humidifiers. And then there's that little, like, the little kettle thing that you put in your nose and then on each side. Can you hurt your voice in VA? All the time if you're not careful. All the fucking time. If you're overworked, 100%. 100%. If you're overworked, if you're doing yelling sessions. I remember talking with Zach Aguilar about Demon Slayer. His voice was gone for like half of it because of all the yelling. Absolutely. You can. Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, Simba and I are friends. What the fuck? You and I have been friends since I was a part of the mainframe. Did you took the vaccine? Yes, I did. Twice. And if you haven't, please leave. That is just so bad it's good. Trying to think. The first one that comes to mind, and I don't think it's bad, I just think it's cheesy. G Gundam. G Gundam is amazing, dude. Well, Julian, I don't know much about that. I've heard from experience that some of them don't even want to be those characters. In some instances, they don't want to be those characters, but then the company, the respective company, tells them it's like, nah, it's just cheaper this way. Have you heard Clint Bickham's voice? I think I have. I just can't think of the name, the voice right now. Oh, I know. Okay. To go back to that thing about if you have a high voice damaging your low, would that be damaging? Dallas Reed, love him to death, but Asta kind of eliminated his high voice because of all of the yelling. Yelling can also eliminate your high voice. Just letting you know now. Your voice will get deeper, pero you won't have a high voice anymore. Dude, Kid Banshee, that's so good. If you can do creature noises, that's so good. So good. Favorite line with your character in Final Fantasy VII Remake? Squad off! Gridman is banger. Gridman is banger. I have no idea genre. Reason why I don't yell like my entire life? I guess. Can't wait for the Black Clover movie to happen. One day. You ever just go into a stasis of having a reboot? Top 10 Saint Seiya characters? Alright. Number 1 is not Scorpio Milo. Scorpio Milo is number 2. Why? Because I voice him. Number 1, my boy Icky the fucking Phoenix, bro. Icky! And after 2, nothing matters. Oh my god. But I'm super excited to start watching it. Hey, well, thanks, Zena. Oh, yeah. For those of you who don't know, I also sing. And if you want to see what my resume is like, press ! VA. I did do the cover for Horimiya and Saint Seiya. What kind of voice type do I think companies prefer? It's so weird. Every company is different. Every company is different. And I don't think you should worry about that. Because no matter where your voice sits, when it comes to anime, not even just anime, when it comes to all types of media, your voice fits a role. Your voice fits a specific character, but not every character. Like my voice can fit the best friend, on occasion the main character in an anime. Very few times though. But my voice doesn't fit the big boomy guys, you know? My voice doesn't fit the very young boy, or, you know, the child. My voice is very full. If you hear my voice, it's very clean. It's not textured. You know, at times it can be a little dry, but I still have a fairly younger voice. Like my voice, if anything, is an 18-year-old to a 25-year-old, maybe even up to a 28-year-old, right? That's where my voice sits right now. Who's to say? But my voice does not fit characters like Einzungon or, you know, fucking Vegeta, no matter how much I do the blasted Kakarot. In this day and age, my voice would probably be fit more Gohan or an adult version of Goten, in that kind of realm. But my voice, you know, everybody has a distinct voice. And there are some people who can voice the Hulk, but can't be that, you know, that young scrapping boy. I mean, look at Darren DePaul. Darren DePaul has an insane fucking voice. His voice sounds amazing with that texture, that rasp. Man has voiced the Hulk. He was Truman Zanato in Psychonauts 2. That man, in the recent years, has blown up like crazy. I believe he's Reinhardt in Overwatch. My goodness. But he's not gonna be that boy next door. He's not gonna be like, if he were to do that, he'd be like, hey there, fellow kids, like, how are we doing in here? Like, you know what I mean? I mean, okay, here's another example. Matthew Mercer, fantastic man, fantastic actor. The man, he can be your best friend. That motherfucker, he can voice your older brother, your dad, even the dude, the bro, you know? He could be the bro, but he can also be the sophisticated. But he cannot be the youngin'. He cannot be the main character that does not know what is happening. Does that make sense? Like, I hope that makes sense. They're not looking for a specific type of people. That depends. It depends on their casting. If they're specifically casting a game that involves Middle Eastern characters, they're not gonna have people who aren't Middle Eastern in this day and age. Same can be said about, like, you know, Asian characters. Like, if they decided to make a game on Shang-Chi, they're not gonna have fucking white people in the game. At least I would hope they fucking wouldn't. You know what I mean? It's the same thing with if they decided to make a Black Panther game. What? You're gonna hire a white guy to be fucking Chadwick Boseman? The kind of disrespect? Are you fucking kidding me? You want to do that? Have I ever voiced in commercials? I have. I've voiced in a lot of promos for Nickelodeon. It was really cool. Also, I finished my soda, so I'm gonna get rid of my soda. Sorry, Best P. Do you have the thing where you sound like your voice in your head? Oh, yes, all the time, especially when you're starting out. Zeg, when you're not accustomed to listening to your own voice, yes. So here's the thing. When we hear our voice inside our head, apparently we hear our voice deeper because the way our skull works and the way the vibrations of our voice goes through our skull. I know this is some weird fucking science shit. I can't remember who told me, but that's what it happens. That's why we sound deeper in our head than in the recording. It's because our brain and the way it reverbs around our skull gives it a deeper tone. So yeah. Wait, cause why? Bitch, I don't fucking know science. Mark Thompson does have a range as well. Same with Dan Green. Yeah, the original Yu-Gi-Oh dub was something. Dan Green, to this day, sounds amazing. Not just as Yugi, by the way. Deku is the voice of Oob. Now, it used to be Shawn Michael Teague, who had a very, very good voice. Very unique voice. And unfortunately, I don't think there's anybody on the planet right now that kind of sounds like him. And the closest we get is Justin Briner. Nothing against Justin, but it's just not Shawn Michael Teague. Also, you guys may know Shawn Michael Teague not just for Oob, but for Kuenma in Yu Yu Hakusho. Is it harder to voice dramatic or comedic scenes? Depends on the actor. Depends on the actor. And it also depends on the type of comedy. Because there's a difference between anime comedy and actual comedy. No offense to anime, but when things are translated from Japan that is hilarious for Japanese folk, adapting that into English isn't always funny or accurate, if that makes sense. So that's what I mean by anime. My brain. That's what I mean by anime funny or real funny, by the way. Do I catch up on newer anime? Depends on the anime. If it catches my eye, my interest, like Eden Zero, that kind of thing. Other than that, I watched an episode of Vanitas. I thought that was fucking cool. Other than that, I haven't really watched anything. I think I watched an episode of Dinezanon, but yeah, not much. Oh, I watched the new Shaman King, so I guess that's new. No, I haven't watched the new Digimon. Why you laughing, Simba? Huh? Why you laughing? Why you laughing? Thoughts on the new Shaman King? Let's see. I think it's a little rushed. I think the visuals are a lot better than the trailer led me to believe. What else? The music is cool. And yeah. I just think it's a little rushed. Because by the end of the first 13, they're already, or the first 12, I don't remember what. They're already at the tournament, which is insane. Upcoming Pokemon games, I'm excited. They look cool. To Your Eternity? Yeah. I haven't watched it yet, but I know that my boy Jacob Hopkins, he's the lead, and I'm really excited for him. Because it's his first anime, and his first lead. And, oh man, I know that he was so excited about that. I'm so happy for him. That's the voice of Gumball, by the way, if you guys didn't know that. Well, one of them. and when I say Gumball, I mean the amazing world of Gumball. It's a little rushed, but I like the new Shaman King. I mean, it doesn't look bad. There's plenty of voice actors, actresses I would love to meet. Yeah, they're really cool. Tokyo Babylon. I don't think I know that. Oh, yeah. I have not played Masters recently, no. Man, we've been going at this for 2 hours. Holy crap. Ba-na-na-na-na-na. My eye. Mind Turtle, honestly, I would say classes, some experience in a booth or recording yourself, working on a couple of projects like indies. I mean, you're fine, Mind Turtle. That's what we're here for. A lot of the OG cast who reprised in the roles in new Shaman King along with some new casting choices. Yeah. Honestly, I don't want to. Nope. I'm not. Nope. Not doing that live. Woo! Anyway. Let's see. Meeting Robert Axelrod. Oh yeah, Lord Zed. I saw him once at a con, and he just looked tired. Thoughts about Mega Man X Dive? I've barely played it. What was your first time experience in the booth? Was it nervous? Yes. It was nervousness, excitement, and I was so... I had so much adrenaline that I ended up with a fever immediately after my session. It was great. In all seriousness, I'm not even kidding. My very first session was for Fairy Tail, like ever in a professional setting. And I was so excited because I was such a huge fan of Fairy Tail at the time. And then, yeah, I got home and I was like, I don't feel so good. And then I got a fever. I gave myself a fever because of how excited, nervous, anxious, and yeah, all of the above. It was insane. Yes, D. Bradley Baker's is such a good site to use. If you go to D. Bradley Baker's website, that's a great website. Great website for voiceover. As well as Adventures in Voice Acting. I know that voice. And I know that Yuri Lowenthal and Tara Platt have a book. All those are good resources. I did, John Rowe. I thought it was wild. Oh, hey, Matt. What's good? I'm probably only going to talk about voiceover for another 13 minutes, by the way. Make that 12 minutes. And then I think we're going to play some Psychonauts. So if you have any more questions, feel free to ask away, and I'll do my best to answer them in a timely manner. How would we list our ADR practice from home on our resume? Well, if you're referring to ADR practice, I wouldn't. That's actually really tricky, huh? I mean, you could say self-taught, but that wouldn't look good in a resume. I would just list your acting experience and not mention the ADR experience at all at that point. My day's been pretty solid. I still have a lot of things to get through. Thankfully, my COVID test came back negative, which is a great thing because I kind of need that to get on the plane tomorrow. So, that's great. Any tips for those who want to get into voice acting? Yeah, there's plenty. Do it because you want to. Not because everybody's telling you, oh man, you have such a great voice for voiceover. Do it because it's the thing you want to give an honest to goodness shot. And just because you just want to do it as a hobby, that's not a bad thing. It can just be a hobby if that's what you want. But if you want to seek at it professionally, just make sure you're emotionally and emotionally, physically, and monetarily prepared. Do you recommend having a separate VO resume from your film and acting? I would say so. Maybe. It would depend. I wouldn't say your training. I would say your VO and that kind of thing. I would say yes, but for your training, I would include the same training in both, if that makes sense. Depending on how much training you have. How would I start to stream on Twitch often is all? I mean, just start streaming, you know? I still can't get over your emotions are what you got after a few of your first... Hey, it can happen. On monotone voices? Now, when you say monotone voices, do you mean like, I'm here right now talking like this? Or do you mean like actual monotone? Here's the thing. It doesn't matter how a person is and how they talk normally in real life. If they can perform and act in voiceover and whatever, fuck it. If you mean monotone in anime, depends on the character. I got a text from my friend saying my dog is adorable. And I told him, bitch, I know it. Yeah, I plan to do this at least once a month. Because I think it'd be really cool. I plan to do this like once a month. I think it's a neat thing to do with you guys. I just like pepperoni on pizza. So we list ADR only if we took a class. I know we need it if we want to get into animal. Well, you don't need. Okay, no. ADR. Nobody. If you're just starting out, nobody expects you to have ADR practice. If you have ADR practice, that can be a plus. But if you don't have any, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not a requirement. It's okay. Just be prepared is all. And you don't need to have it in your resume. If you happen to work, have done ADR before, it doesn't have to be anime, whether it's live action or, you know, a foreign film or something like that. That counts too. What's up, Serg? What other games do I like besides Psychonauts? I like Persona. Persona 5 specifically. I don't know. I like a bunch of different games, but Psychonauts is literally on my mind because I want to 100% it with you guys. Mega Man and Gunvolt, of course. I mean, that's what my designs are based off. Mega Man Battle Network specifically, and obviously. But yeah, I really want to get into Star Force again. Hey, Tito, what's good? Tito, I will murder you. It's a joke, Twitch. It's a joke. By murder, I mean happily go to his home, give him a hug, and then punch him in the face really fucking hard for joking about Gears of War 4 being a good game. And then we'll hang out and play Gears of War 5. Been in a stump for a while, and I feel like this is well, I'm glad. Oh, this is actually a really important question. Tips on networking within VO industry if we are brand new. I got you, bro. Don't. I know that sounds weird. Don't fucking do that. Just be a person. Be a friend. Don't just, oh shit, that's so-and-so. If I befriend them, I can be blah, 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 blah. Just be an actual person. Literally just be a human. What a foreign concept. Literally just befriend people. Be their friends because you think they're cool people. If you like their vibe, then great. Vibe with them. If they happen to help you along the way, great. But don't expect it. Don't expect to network with someone. Don't just befriend someone because they can get you in somewhere. That's such a shitty thing to do. Just be people. It's okay. It's all good. Yeah, make genuine connections, not just to further your career. I have a hard time trusting people, fair. Yeah, I'm glad, Mind Turtle. I'm glad I could help. Ah, my neck. My neck. When I was a child, but turned away because it looked creepy and weird. That, you know what, Eden? That's fair. That's fair. I remember I thought it was really weird at first, but I still give it a shot. Honestly, Satale, that's kind of a good skill to have. Because you can just sense it. You know what I mean? When you can sense when someone's just trying to get in your good graces because they want something from you. You can just sense that shit. And that's not a bad trait to have. You can be trusting, but keep people at an arm's length. I love the glasses on your VTuber. Well, thanks. That's why I added them. Have I ever done voice work for any visual novels? Yes, multiple. One of them, one of the very first voiceover things I did was for a visual novel known as Seduce Me, the Atome game. I was the voice of Sam, and yes, yep. Listen to your gut and trust your instinct about people. Yeah. Pog. It helps you in your part-time job? Hell yeah. Okay, we got 4 minutes left. So if you guys have any questions left, feel free. What is your proudest voice acting moment? Ooh, what a good question. There are multiple, really. I would definitely think Sadazanmai. Sadazanmai was so real. Like, I don't think a lot of people watch Sadazanmai, but the tones in that show were so genuine and real that I just wanted to do my best, you know? Here's the thing. There are moments, I love a lot of the performances I've done. There's a difference between loving performances I've done and then being proud of them. Proud, I feel I'm proud about Horimiya, Yuri, and Sadazanmai. Because each one I've had to perform real fucking life moments. Not to say that I haven't with the others, but just moments that, like, at the time, just hit a little close to home. You know what I mean? Like Horimiya in the fact of the subject of taking your life. I haven't had to experience that at a young age, but, like, when I've gotten older, I've always wondered, you know? Not always, but sometimes. You know what I mean? But I know that a lot of my friends and have experienced that. And I wanted to make it, you know... It was more about talking to them. And I've had that with Yuri as well. Because at the time a friend of mine their dad had passed away. And there's a line that Yuri says, take all the time you need. Like, don't... And it was just, I kept picturing them. And Sadazanmai, it was... Those were moments I was proud. Because it felt like, rather than acting, I was communicating to my friends and to myself in those instances. And I know that's a little real for me, but that's the difference I see between loving the work I've done and being proud of the work I've done. Yeah. Your Miyamoto performance genuinely had me Oh, well, I'm glad. Yes, I have watched Isekais. Signing a contract with a company that has VA. Be prepared, I guess. Read the contract. I watched it dub last year. I love the singing so much, but I gotta tell you, my best friend refusing to watch it. I don't know what to do. I mean, you can't force people to watch stuff. Especially Sadazanmai. As much as I love Sadazanmai, it is a hard show to get people to watch. For those of you who have watched it, you know why. But I wouldn't force it. You know? I wouldn't force it. You like my performance of Moriarty? Thanks! I'm glad you did. It's like trial by fire, literally. And I'm so happy to have learned a lot from you. I'm glad, actress. Yeah. Kick ass, guys. Okay. So, before we switch over to Psychonauts, I do have a funny story about my mom. My mom recently called me, and they were like, "Ay, mijito, so I've been watching some of your reels. Were you the zombie?" And I was like, "Yes, Mom." It's like, "Did you kill that woman?" And I was like, "Wait, which zombie are you talking about? The dog?" And she goes, no, mijito, no. I mean this one, the one that attacks the girl. I'm like, no, Mom, he literally dies. I died. And then she goes, oh, okay. And then there was this other one where you shot a girl. Did you actually kill her, mijito? And I was like, what? Mom, you gotta be more specific than that. I think I've done a scene like that a number of times. And she goes, this one. I was like, oh, no, she lives. And she's like, oh, okay, hui. I didn't want my baby to be a fucking murderer. And I'm like, Mom, I voice these characters. I'm not killing people. And she's like, I know, but you know, I don't like having that image in my head. And I'm like, and she's like, mijito, you've never done that, right? Like voice a character that's killed someone? I'm like, yeah, multiple times actually. And she's like, oh, no, in serio? And I'm like, yeah, last week actually. It was just so funny. So funny. But yeah, that's my fun mom story. Anyway, you guys, I think we've been in the booth for far too long. Thank you. I'm glad you guys enjoyed this. Thanks for stopping by the booth. Now, let's get the fuck out of here.